Welcome back to On the Same Page. We are on Daf Hey Amud Aleph, which is 5a of Maseches Taanis, and we're at the Mishnah, so we're just 7 lines down on the page. The Mishnah says, Ad Masai Shoalin Es HaGeshamim. Until when may one, or until when does one request rain? So the Gemara on the previous Amud actually quoted this Mishnah, and it's asking, until when do we say the same tal umatar livracha? When do we stop saying it? When do we stop requesting rain? So Rabbi Yehuda Omer, ad sheyavor haPesach. Rabbi Yehuda says we say until Pesach is over. So we would say it through all of Chol HaMoed according to Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Meir Omer, ad sheyetze Nisan. And Rabbi Meir says you say until the end of Nisan. The halacha is actually not in line with either of these opinions, unless you reinterpret them sort of like the Gemara tried to do in last week's Amud. Rather, we actually stop saying the same tal, and we start saying the same bracha on the first day of Chol HaMoed Pesach. But in any event, Rabbi Yehuda says you say it until Pesach is over, and Rabbi Meir says you say until the whole month of Nisan is over, and Rabbi Meir brings a pasuk, a verse, to back his opinion up. He says, Shenemar, as the pasuk says, it's a pasuk in Yoel, it says, Vayored v'lachem geshem more umalkosh barishon. And rain, the first rains, the more, the malkosh, and the late rains fell for you barishon in the first. Meaning, sounds like the first month of the year. Says Rabbi Meir, you see that it's supposed to rain throughout the first month, which is Nisan, and therefore you should only stop asking for rain after Nisan is over. Says the Gemara, Amar le Rav Nachman le Rav Yitzchak. Rav Nachman said to Rav Yitzchak, I don't understand this verse. Yoreh b'Nisan, does the first rain come in Nisan? Right, the verse said that it will fall for you rain, the first rain and the later rain, Barishon, in the first month, in Nisan. The end of the winter, beginning of the spring. Asks Rav Nachman to Rav Yitzchak, Yoreh b'Nisan, does the early rain come in Nisan? Yoreh b'Mar Cheshvan. Yoreh, the early rains come in Cheshvan, which is just around now, the beginning of the winter. So what's going on here? Why does the pasuk seem to say that there would be the first rain during Nisan? So Amar le, Rabbi Yitzchak responded, Hachi Amar Rabbi Yochanan. This is what Rabbi Yochanan taught to explain this pasuk, this verse. B'mei Yoel ben Pesuel niskayim mikrazeh. During the days of Yoel, this verse was fulfilled, and indeed this verse is found in Yoel. But we see events in Yoel that are a fulfillment of this verse, that the first rain will fall in Nisan. Tichsibbe, because it says there that it happened that there was a great famine, and Yeser ha'gazam achal ha'arbe. All that was left over, basically the various locusts came and ate everything, and whatever that type of locust, the gazam, didn't eat, so then arbe, another type of locust, came and ate. And whatever they didn't eat, the verse goes on, so then other insects came and ate that, and everything was consumed because there was nothing growing. Osa shana yatsa adar v'lo yardu geshamim. The Gemara explains that year, Adar had passed and it had not yet rained. It didn't rain the entire winter. A great drought. Yarda lahem revia rishona be'echad b'Nisan. But what happened was, the first rainfall occurred on the first day of Nisan. Amar lahem Navi Yisrael, the Navi Yoel said to the Jewish people, Tzi'u v'zaru, go out and plant. Now that it has rained once, go out and plant. Amru lo, they said to him, Mishiyesh lo kav chitim, o kavim sa'orin, yochlenu v'yichyeh, o yizrenu v'yamos. Well, how could we go and plant the little bit of seeds that we have, if you have a kav, that measurement of wheat kernels? Are you going to plant them? You could either, you could eat them and live, or barley kernels as well. They said you can eat them and live, or you'll plant them and you'll die because you'll have nothing left to eat. Amar lahem, he said to them, the prophet, the Navi said, Afal pikein, Tze'u v'zaru. Even so, you should go and plant. Don't worry. It will all be taken care of. And they listened. And what happened? Na'aseh lahem nes. A miracle occurred. V'nisgalu lahem mashe b'ksolin u'mashe b'chorin amalim. And it was revealed to them all the kernels that were in the walls and in the anthills. That there were storages that mice had made in the walls and ants had made underground of food. And it was revealed to them through a miracle where these places were, and they had enough to eat those few days. What happened? So the Gemara continues, it says, Yatsu v'zaru sheni u'shlishi revi. They went and they planted on the second day of Nisan, on the third day of Nisan, and on the fourth day of Nisan. V'yarda lahem reviya shniya. And then it rained again. It rained again. B'chamisha b'Nisan, on the 5th of Nisan. So they listened to the Navi, and on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of Nisan they planted. On the 5th day it rained again. What happened? Hikrivu omer b'shisha aser b'Nisan. They brought the karban omer, which is brought. It's an offering, brought on the 2nd day of Pesach. On the 16th of Nisan, it's brought from barley that is grown that year. They brought a barley offering. Meaning, I think the Gemara explains, Nimses tivua hagedela b'shisha chadashim. It turned out that grain that usually takes 6 months to grow, because it rains at the beginning of the winter, and they plant then, gedela be'achad asar yom. It grew in 11 days. Nimtza omer hakar mitvua shel shisha chadashim. And it turns out that the karban omer, which is a barley offering, which is usually brought from grain that it took 6 months to grow, krav mitvua shel achad asar yom. It was brought from grain that grew in just 11 days. There was a miracle, and it rained on the 5th day to nurture the seeds that they had put in the ground, and 11 days later, on the 16th of Nisan, they had enough barley growing to bring the karban. Val oso hadarhu omer, and it's about that generation that it says in Tehillim, a pasuk that we're probably familiar with. It says, Hazarim bedima berina yiktaru. Those who plant in tears, they will reap in joy. They planted in tears, they reaped in joy. Then it goes on, it says, Haloch yelechu vacha. He goes and cries, Nose meshach hazara, and he bears the burden of the seeds, the measurement of the seeds. What's this talking? The Gomer, and so on. So what's this talking about? My haloch yelechu vacha. Nose meshach. Who's it talking about? Who goes, when he's going, he's crying, but then he brings back a measurement of seeds. Now it sounds, the way that Rashi explains it can't be talking about the people, because they already said that the people, Hazar and Medima, they'll plant in tears, Berina Yiksaru, they'll harvest in joy. But then it seems to repeat, it says they'll go and cry, and they'll bring back a measurement of grain, but that seems to be repetitive. So it must be referring to something else. So Amar Rabbi Yehuda said it's talking about the animals. Sure, the ox, which is plowing the field, Kishu Charesh, as it's walking and plowing, it goes and it cries, it's hungry. It didn't have anything to eat. It was a great famine. Uva Chaziraso, but already when it was walking back, Ochel Chaziz Megatel was able to eat a stalk that was growing out of the furrow. That's how fast it grew. It went and it cried. No Shemesha Chazar, on the way back, it was already bearing a measurement of grain. Vizehu, and that's also what it means, Bo Yavo Verina, it will surely come again in joy. No Semesha Hazara, Bo Yavo Verina, it will surely come in joy. My Nosei Mosav, what's the end? Nosei Mosav, carrying its bundles, its sheaves of grain, of wheat. We know it, we mentioned it twice. We said the people will harvest in joy. We said the animal will be, Nosei Meshech Hazara will be bearing the measurement of grain. So what's Nosei Mosav, carrying the sheaves? What's that coming to teach me? Amar Rav Chisda Rav Chisda said, and some say it was a Mishnah or a Brisa. What it means to say is that a miracle happened and Kana Zeres, that the Kana, the stalk of wheat, was a Zeres in height. A Zeres is from the pinky to the thumb, so it was that tall. Shiboles Zarasayim. But the shiboles, the top of the ear of the grain, was 2 zereses. As Rashi explains, normally a stalk of wheat, it's a tall stalk and it has a small ear on top, which is where all the kernels are. But it's primarily stalk, which you can't eat, and then the edible part is on top. And it's much smaller. But here, a miracle happened was the opposite. That the stalk was only 1 zeres tall, and the ear, the shibolis, which is usually about a third of the size of the stalk, was actually double the size of the stalk. That was the miracle that occurred. That's Nosya Lumosa, bearing its sheaves, these amazing, miraculous sheaves of grain. Okay, now the Gemara will continue with other discussions between Rav Nachman and Rav Yitzchak. It says, Amar li Rav Nachman li Rav Yitzchak. He said to Rav Yitzchak, Mai dichsiv, how do we understand the verse in Malachim Beis, where it says, Ki kara Hashem el harav, v'gam ba el haaretz sheva shanim. God has called a famine, and it has come to the land for 7 years. This is in the times of Elisha. And Elisha tells this to the woman, but what does that mean? Ask the Gemara, B'hanach sheva shanim ayachol. 7 years of famine, what did they eat for those 7 years? That's what Rav Nachman asked Rav Yitzchak. Amar lei, so Rav Yitzchak said, Hachi amar Rav Yochanan. This is what Rav Yochanan taught. Shana rishona achlu mashivabatim. The first year of the famine, they ate that which they had still in their houses. Shnia achlu masha besados. The second year, they ate that which was found in the fields. Shlishis besar behematara. The third year, they ate the kosher animals that they still had. Revi'is besar behematmeya. The fourth year, they didn't have a choice. They had to eat non-kosher animals. Chamishis, the fifth year, they didn't have any animals left. Basar shkatzim v'ramasim. They ate the flesh of rodents and insects and disgusting things. Shishis, the 6th year of the famine, Besar b'neiim uvnoseim. They ate the flesh of their children. Shvius, in the 7th year, Besar zroseim, the flesh of their own arms. L'kayim hashnemar. This was a fulfillment of the verse that's expressed in Yeshaya, where it says, Ish besar zro yochelu, that a man will have to eat the flesh of his arms. The famine will be so great. That's a prophecy that happens later, but during the times of Elisha was also fulfilled such a catastrophe. Okay, V'amar le Rav Nachman le Rav Yitzchak, and Rav Nachman saying another thing to Rav Yitzchak, another question. Mai dichsiv, what does the pasuk mean in Hosea, where it says, V'kirbecha kadosh, inside of you will be holy, and I won't come to the city. God says, you'll be holy, but I won't come to the city. How does that connect? Mishum de b'kirbecha kadosh l'ava ba'ir? Because you've made yourself holy inside, I won't come to the city? That if we make ourselves holy, God comes. So what's going on here? Amar lei, he said to him, so Rabbi Yitzchak responded to Rav Nachman again by quoting Rabbi Yochanan. Hachi amar Rabbi Yochanan. This is what Rabbi Yochanan taught. Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu was saying, Lo avu b'Yerushalayim shel mala, ad shavo l'Yerushalayim shel mata. I will not come to the Yerushalayim shel mala, the heavenly Jerusalem, until I come to the Yerushalayim shel mata, the earthly Jerusalem. Meaning, the pasuk means to say, B'kir b'cha kadosh, once it's holy in your midst, and Hashem says, I'll come to, and I can come to your Yerushalayim, so then I will come to my city, to my Yerushalayim in heaven. But until it's Bikir B'cha Kadosh L'Avabir, until that point that it's holy within you, I won't come to the city of Yerushalayim Shel Mala, the heavenly Jerusalem. Ask the Gemara, Miyika Yerushalayim L'Mala? Is there a Yerushalayim on high? Is there a heavenly city of Jerusalem? Gemara says, yes, there is, Dichsiv, because we have a verse. The pasuk says, in Tehillim, it says, Yerushalayim habenuya, the rebuilt Jerusalem ki'ir shechubra lo yachtav, the city that is united together. And the implication is that it's united with another Jerusalem. It's a city united, it's a city that has a friend. And so there's a Yerushalayim on earth, and there's a Yerushalayim Shel Mala. The Amar le Rav Nachman le Rabbi Yitzchak. And Rav Nachman had another question for Rabbi Yitzchak. Mai d'chsiv, what does the verse mean in Yirmiyah, where it says, Uva'achas yivaru v'yichsalu, musar havalim eitzu. That with one, yivaru literally means you'll be stupid and foolish, v'yichsalu and foolish. Musar havalim eitzu, either musar could refer to like a stick of punishment or teachings of havalim of futility. Eitzu are just wood. What's this pasuk referring to? With one, you'll be stupid and foolish. These futile teachings are wood. What's going on here? Amar le, so Rabbi Yitzchak says again by quoting his Rabbi Yochanan. Hachi Amar Rabbi Yochanan. You see, by the way, the tremendous transmission that every question that Rav Nachman poses to Rabbi Yitzchak says, this is what my Rabbi Yochanan said. And, of course, now Rav Nachman passes it on. And if anybody would ask Rav Nachman a question, he would surely tell them, if you ask him these questions, this is what my Rabbi Yitzchak said in the name of Rabbi Yochanan. So what did he say? What did Rabbi Yochanan say? Achasi shemiva'eres rishayim b'gehenim. When it says, and there's one, uva'achas, yivaru, so the Gemara is interpreting the word yivaru not as it will be stupid, but from the word bir, like to burn. There is one avera which burns up Rishayim in Gehenim, in hell. Mahi, and what is it? Avodah Zarah. It's referring to Avodah Zarah, idolatry, and that's what the end of the pasuk is referring to. Ksiv hacha, it says here, Musar havalim eitzu, the futile teachings of wood. Uksiv hasam, and how do we know that refers to idolatry? I mean, it definitely sounds like it because it says wood, but we have another verse, Ksiv hasam, it says elsewhere, a pasuk in Yirmiyah also, it says, Hevel hema maseh tatuim. They are futile, they are the work of delusion, of tricksters, of fakes, and it's referring to idolatry. We have the word that Hevel refers to idolatry. So he's telling him to read the pasuk, to read this verse, Uva'achas yivaru v'yichsalu. Through one avera, avodah zarah, idolatry, they will be burned, the foolish ones, because musar havalim eitzu, because these teachings of wood are hevel, are futile. Idolatry is futile. Okay, 2 lines from the bottom. The Amar le Rav Nachman le Rabbi Yitzchak. And Rav Nachman said another question for Rabbi Yitzchak. Mai d'chsiv. What does the pasuk mean when it says in Yirmiyah, Ki shtayim ros asa ami? My nation has done 2 evils. Tarting hu dahavu. They only did 2 evils. The generation of the destruction. Estrin ve'arba shvikalu. The 24 were forgiven. In the Yechezkel, it lists 24 things they did wrong. And here it's saying that they only did 2 things wrong. Amar le, so Rabbi Yitzchak said, Hachi Amar Rabbi Yochanan. This is what Rabbi Yochanan said. What does it mean they did 2 things wrong? It doesn't mean altogether 2. It means Achas shehi shkula, turning the page, kishtayim. It's one thing they did that's like 2. They did many things, but one of the things they did was like 2. Umayniu, what is that? Avodah Zarah, that's idolatry. Tichsiv, because the pasuk says, if you read on, it says, Kishtayim ros asami, my nation has done 2 evils. Osi azvu mikar mayim chaim, They've abandoned me, the source of life. Lachtzov lahem be'eros nishbarim. To dig broken wells. So there's two faults in Avodah Zarah. One is that you're abandoning God, and the other is that you're now going to serve an idol. So Avodah Zarah, idolatry, involves two wrongs. Uksibu, and to bring out the idea, there's another verse. This one is in Yirmiyah also. It says, Ki ivru iye chitim, for they have passed the islands of the Hittite, the Chittim, Viro, and they saw, V'kedar shalchu v'izbonenu, and they sent to Kedar and contemplated Ma'od. And then it says in the next verse, it says, Ahemir Goya Elohim v'Hemel Elohim. Do those nations trade in their gods? They don't, and they're not even gods. They have idols, and they don't even trade them in. They're loyal to their idols. Ve'ami Hemir Kvodo B'lo Yolam. My nation has traded in, it's rebelled against his glory for no benefit, for no help. Meaning they're being criticized that the other nations have idols and they're loyal to their idols, and you have the Ribono Shalom, you have the actual true king of the world, master of the world, and you've abandoned him. That was part of the Musar, part of the criticism upon them of that time, and that's the Aveira of Avodah Zarah. It's Steinros. It's first of all abandoning God and also seeking out emptiness, seeking out broken wells. Okay, we'll hold it here for this week. Thanks for listening.